Hi, so yeah, we're going to be doing some time saving with Google Classroom today. So what we're going to first of all do is get ourselves signed in to our education domain. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so once we're here, we need to go to Classroom. So let's go to our waffle icon, and right at the bottom left here is the Classroom icon. Obviously, you can also use classroom.google.com to go to your classrooms. As you can see here, I've purposely not put any classrooms in here because I want to show you some time-saving tips. Obviously, you can add classrooms there, but what we're going to do is utilize our archived classrooms today. So you can see I've got a fair few archived classes. So you've got a couple of options here if you press the three buttons. So here we can copy a classroom. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to copy our science class and just rename it something else. So Science 101. And then we're going to copy this across. So that means that everything in terms of the communication announcements, they don't get copied across, but our classwork does gets copied across, and when we add students in, those assignments are then allocated out. So I'll just go back to my classes, and you can see, bear with it just a moment. There we go. And this has created a new classroom for us, but I don't have any students in there at this moment. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to go into class. Once I've just checked over, you can see here the folders, and you can also see that when I go into Google Drive, that's that copy of the classroom. It's created the folder for me, and it's pulled in all of the resources for the assignments that I had previously in the other classroom. So here we go. So it's created our classroom, and here is where our stream is, and this is where I can share things. So from here, I have here can connect to my students. So you can see I've got, in this example, I've got no students at the moment. So what I am going to do is just show you very quickly a way of communicating across multiple classrooms and differentiating between two different students. So I'm just going to restore the other classroom, so you can see I've got multiple classrooms now. So that's now been restored. So when I go to share something here, I now have the ability to share across multiple classrooms. Now what that does mean is I can't actually share between different students, and again, because I'm in this particular classroom, I don't have any students. So I'm going to flip to the other classroom that does have some students in. And you can see here, when I go into a classroom, I can obviously again click the other classroom and it will add it in. But if I wanted to actually just differentiate the learning for different students or just assign to specific students, I can do that just by a tick box exercise. So very quickly, very easily being able to differentiate the resources that I make available to certain students. So I'm just going to flip back into my science class. Okay. So within the stream, obviously, I can create an assignment. So I can start typing things in, and I can obviously do it the standard way. I can add my content as usual, and I can post that, and I'll come back to these buttons in just a moment, but you can post it, you can schedule it. I'll show you scheduling, which is a nice easy hack later. But what I want to do is actually I can use a time-saving shortcut by using some posts that I've already had from other classrooms. So I can create an assignment here, but I can use the reuse post item. So if I click on the reuse post, give it a moment, it should come up with some classes for me. Patiently spinning away. So you can see I've got my archive classes here, so it obviously will have different names for them. If I click on one of these archive classes, it will display all of the posts that I can use. So you can see two assignments here. I'm just going to use the Newton's second law. I'm going to create new copies of all those attachments as well for my students. So I'm just going to press that and let that reuse. So you can see here it brings and pulls in all of the same information, so I don't have to go and find my resources. I've already added those resources in. If I wanted to add new resources in, I can do that. Again, I can use the buttons to assign it to multiple classes or different students. I can change the grading as well as usual, so I can change it to a grading. Again, a very quick way of distributing out to students is to assign them a copy each. But here's a really nice hack here, is to schedule the assignment instead. So I can schedule that for tomorrow. I'm going to type in 9 o'clock. Just be aware of this. Something that it does is it automatically, if you type in 9 o'clock, it runs on a 12-hour clock and assigns it as PM. So the best thing for you to do, you can go in and edit that. Just make sure that when you do edit it, that you type in the correct meridian within that time. As you can see, it automatically does it. There we go. I'm going to schedule that, and that will automatically appear within the stream at that time on that date for my students to then take that information in. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel to the bottom, or visit haptic-networks.com.